is CNN Student News. I'm Carl Azus. Welcome to all of our viewers worldwide. And if your school year is just getting started, we hope it's going well for you so far. We're back from the Labor Day holiday. It's often viewed as the unofficial start to the presidential campaign season, and the candidates were out in force over the weekend. Many are holding meetings, attending events, hosting fundraisers, and they're concentrating on Iowa and New Hampshire. Those are the two states where the first caucuses and primaries will be held early next year. They'll help determine who each party's nominee will be in next November's presidential election. 5 people are officially seeking the Democratic Party's nomination. 17 people are officially seeking the Republican Party's nomination. Across the Atlantic, Europe is dealing with its most severe migration crisis since World War II. Hundreds of thousands are crossing borders. Most of them are from Afghanistan, Syria, and Iraq. Some are migrants looking for a better life in Europe. Many are refugees fleeing war-torn countries or the ISIS terrorist group. And some European officials are concerned that terrorists themselves might cross into Europe with the asylum seekers. Austria and Germany say they can't keep up with the influx of people. They want other countries to help more. France and Britain say they will. They're planning to accept tens of thousands. Hungary has built a fence to prevent people from entering from neighboring Serbia. Their journey is treacherous. It involves crossing nations on foot, walking dozens of miles. It involves crossing the Mediterranean on overloaded, unstable boats.
Under the spotlight of a Turkish Coast Guard cutter,
You see the refugees?
the silhouettes of more than 20 people stranded in a rubber boat. They are desperate, frightened, but tonight luckily saved by volunteers from the Bodrum Sea Rescue Association, who work alongside the Turkish Coast Guard.
Not all together, wait.
Among the passengers rescued, 5 little children. Just 4 days after the world was shocked by photographs of a Syrian refugee toddler who drowned at sea, these people have embarked on the exact same perilous journey. They set off from the Turkish resort peninsula of Bodrum in hope of reaching the Greek island of Kos. Instead of drifting at sea with a failed engine, these people will be brought back safely to Turkey. The beaches below Bodrum's villas and posh resorts, an unlikely launching point for tens of thousands of refugees and migrants willing to risk everything to reach Europe. Under the light of the crescent moon, we witness another attempt at a crossing.
It's after 2 a.m. and we've encountered another little rubber dinghy loaded with people. They're actually paddling in the direction of Greece. It's incredibly overloaded, this little boat. It's an accident waiting to happen.
To make matters worse, some wear heavy backpacks over their life jackets.
The Coast Guard is coming.
Before possible disaster strikes, the Coast Guard comes to the rescue. Tonight, they failed to reach Greece, but they will live another day.
See if you can ID me. I'm an organic compound that's found in several of the foods we eat. I'm naturally bitter in flavor. I'm well known for stimulating the central nervous system. I'm caffeine, a substance with several benefits and drawbacks.
A couple things you might not know about caffeine. 1, people can get physically dependent on it. It's not considered as addictive as, say, illegal street drugs or alcohol. But people who are used to caffeine and suddenly stop drinking it can get headaches, they can become anxious or depressed, they can have a hard time concentrating. Another thing about caffeine is that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has a new warning out about it. The alert focuses on pure powdered caffeine, something so potent that small amounts can cause an accidental overdose. The FDA says it's aware of at least 2 people who have died from taking it.
Caffeine is everywhere. In coffee, iced tea, chocolate, sodas, even in some medications. It's a stimulant that can make you feel more alert and give you that boost of energy.
It increases blood flow to the muscles, opens up your lungs. It gives increased performance.
But when you consume too much of it, caffeine can cause major health problems. On average, most people can handle about 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. That's about what's in 3 to 4 6-ounce cups of coffee. What's concerning these days is more and more products contain larger amounts of caffeine. Energy drinks, supplements, even powdered caffeine contains way more of the substance than any cup of coffee. For example, the FDA warns 1 teaspoon of powdered caffeine is equivalent to 25 cups of coffee.
When they take what they think is a dose, it's 10, 15, 20 times what they're expecting.
Consuming more than 1,000 milligrams of caffeine could lead to some serious side effects like an irregular heartbeat, nausea, tremors, insomnia, and in some rare situations, death. So beware of what you're drinking. Best way to avoid caffeine overdose is to check the ingredients just to see how much caffeine you're taking in.
Roll call requests are coming in from all over the world at cnnstudentnews.com. Keep them coming. L'Anse Creuse Middle School Central made today's roll. It's in Harrison Township, Michigan, the home of the Lancers. In North Carolina, we've got the Raiders watching today. Hello to our friends at Southern Vance High School. And in Hsinchu, Taiwan, thank you for watching at the Pacific American School. It's great to see you. Dr. David Sapgear is today's study in character. While some physicians might keep extended hours or email their patients or even make house calls, Dr. Sapgear joins his for a walk. It helps them prevent heart disease, the #1 killer in America. And his nonprofit, Walk with a Doc, now has more than 160 chapters around the U.S. with doctors and patients getting fit.
I knew something had to change on my end to stay healthy. I'd go anywhere between 9 to 12 hours, all sitting at the desk. You may be working a lot, but you're at the desk sitting.
How far do you think you could walk before you had to stop? The #1 problem I see my patients face as a cardiologist is a sedentary lifestyle. I was frustrated at my ineffectiveness to create change in my patients.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
So I said, how about it if my family goes to the park? Would you be interested in joining us? So we'll see you tomorrow at the walk.
Oh, yes.
The response was phenomenal. I wanted to talk about how easy taking care of ourselves can be. There's no better way that you can show a patient that you care about them than by going the extra mile with them. There's no wait in the office. There's no fear of bad news. Good day. It's just the patient and the physician talking about whatever the patient wants to talk about.
In the beginning, I used to walk a mile or two. By end of the year, I've completed a full marathon. I'm thinking of signing up for my second marathon. Dr. Sapgear taught me you can achieve things that are really big, but it all starts with small steps.
How many miles do you have in already?
2.7.
80% of cardiac disease is preventable if we just go for a walk. If people just take that first step, they will never look back.
Woohoo! High five!
Before we go, 2 words, sky pool. Well, actually, it's 1 word, and it describes one awesome swimming hole or suspended pool between 2 apartment buildings in London. When it's complete in 3 years, it'll be 10 stories above the ground, 90 feet long, made out of see-through acrylic that's 8 inches thick. But it's only 4 feet deep, so there won't be any skydiving. Get it? Of course, other apartments could build something like this. They just have to pool their resources. Given, critics might wonder, what are they thinking, building this way above ground pool? But it shows that when it comes to aquatic construction, the sky is not the limit. If you're already on Instagram, you might like the roll call tip we posted last night. Instagram.com/CNN Student News.